It tells the story of 80 people. Gruesome experiments. They're confined in a building and forced to kill each other in order to maintain their lives. Experiments on whether this continue, who set up this experiment, and what the purpose of. Let's get into this dark story called the Belko experiment. The film opens with Mike, simple guy who works in a company, outsourcing, named Belko Industry. The company is a company, state-owned, located in remote areas in Colombia. It's been a year since the industry, and during that time, everything looks normal. That day, the officers, including Mike, go to work as usual. But on arrival at the office, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Normally quiet building, now closely guarded by people in military uniforms who do security and the checking, one by one, as if something was going on.
ID, please.
You're kidding.
Open the trunk, please.
In our office, introduced to Leandra, which is Mike's girlfriend and also a CEO named Barry. Everything looks normal as usual. And while the employees were busy working, Mike noticed something was off. Where he saw soldiers that went into the company's warehouse area, feeling that something is not right. Mike also tried to call security. But out of nowhere, office intercom microphone, the voice of the man who gave
new guards.
Do you have any idea why they would be heading into that?
All employees, please stop and lend me your full attention. There are currently 80 of you in the building. Survival increases by following my orders. In 8 hours, most of you will be dead. Your first task is simply this. Your fellow employees within the next half hour.
Hey, all the lines are dead.
Calm down, it's okay.
Let's just name the person behind the microphone is the commando. Some employees think the voice just now was some kind of joke from the headquarters, except for Mac, who felt something was about to happen. 'Cause a lot of odd things today. Mike's suspicions were also proven because shortly after, panic broke out when suddenly, the entire side of the building was covered by an iron plate. Thick metal.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, just go. Hit him now, okay?
Some of them immediately tried to contact the police, but there's no signal. The others went up to the roof of the building in hope to see the outside conditions or just looking for help. But it all seemed hopeless because this building is in the middle of a remote area, out of reach of anyone. Shortly seen a repair technician. Tried his luck by breaking into metal coating with flame welding blender. But nothing, and strangely, the steel didn't melt at all.
No, look, it ain't even hot.
Do you know what kind of metal this is?
I don't really know.
Time goes on, but none of them, who are completely aware of the threat that is in sight. Many of them still think, if it was a joke, everything seems to be stuck in uncertainty, waiting for answers to what really happened. But after 29 minutes, in the end, all the questions were answered.
What, man? Look at me. Look how fucking chill I am. It's a psychological fucking test, man. From corporate fucking America.
Four shots shot as a sign that what was spoken by the man behind the microphone is not a joke. Barry, who was curious about the gunshot and wonder where it stands. After he checked himself, it was not a gunshot wound, but it's an embedded thing inside the head.
His head exploded from the inside.
The tags. When we start working here, they put tracers.
There, Mike just remembered that all the workers there were planted a tracker in the head on insurance grounds. Considering he worked for the state, it is one of the conditions that must be followed at registration for the sake of safety. Finally, without thinking, Mike immediately took an item and was desperate to remove the object, whatever way.
Mike!
Michael Melch, set down the knife immediately. Explosive.
Mike, please.
We will give you 10 seconds to cease and desist. 8, 7, 5, 4, 2.
It turns out that all the rooms there have been installed surveillance cameras, so that Mike gets a warning and chose to stop his intentions. Looks now, Mike was helped by one of the employees to sew up the wound without anesthetic. After that, scene shows some people checked some rooms and took off the surveillance camera that was installed. Then on the other side, Barry was seen trying to get to the security guard to ask where the key to the firearms warehouse is. Barry tried to persuade the security guard to have the key given to him.
I think I should have won this case.
You think you should run? You know I can't do that, sir. Don't worry though, I ain't gonna give them to nobody.
Now the scene moves on to two people who work as repair technician, who seemed to choose to go down to the basement when everything started to go awry. On the top floor, there was also a woman named Denny, who hid there because they felt it would be safer if it's in the basement. Not long after, the man behind the microphone spoke again. There the voice of the commando warned, if anyone removes the camera and tried to remove the tracker, then the command will blow it up. The command also started the game with a request. In the next 2 hours, among the 76 people left now, 30 of them must be eliminated.
7 p.m. 2 hours, 130 of you dead, through whatever means necessary.
Heard that? Everything starts to feel an actual panic. Selfish instincts begin to emerge, and defensive instincts even attack instantly, seen in some human faces there. Seen in the kitchen, some people immediately scramble to find sharp objects. It's not clear what's on their minds, but certainly they assume it was the best way to survive. Back again in the basement, they're seen one of the technicians, who are scared, when his friend tries to calm him down with the fear that had taken over him. He accidentally made his head dented.
Honey, calm down, man. Hey, come here. Get back! Whoa, whoa. What just happened?
The man finally died. Denis, who had been watching, even got caught. Technicians who are afraid that Denny will tell everyone, he immediately attacked Denny without thinking. Age no one knows. By accident, triggered by panic. Second technician, it ended up having to collapse and be seen upstairs. The situation is getting out of hand. Seen Barry as the CEO of trying to propose to obey the command's request, where there should be 30 people that are being deployed in the next 2 hours. Giving options. That those who are not married, do not have family dependents, must be willing to sacrifice for others. But here, Mike immediately denied IDE it and choose to find a solution so that everything was saved, without having to sacrifice your own life.
Nobody is questioning, but we need to work together to get the hell out of here. Come on. Let's go.
You don't have time! Terry.
What?
You have kids, right?
Yes.
My wife and kids need me.
Eventually, cracks began to show between them. Some people agree with Barry that in order to stay alive, life must be exchanged, but others chose to side with Mike. Those with good instincts want to ask for help from outside by waving a banner. From the roof of this building, they were divided into 2 groups, where the Barry group appears to be less, but they are people who are willing to do anything to survive, including sacrificing fellow. Meanwhile, Mike, Leandra, and security guard started setting up equipment to go up to the roof and waving a banner. But instantly, their steps halted because they saw the group. Barry is breaking into the gun room, using a blender welding torch. Mike also tried to prevent it by discussing, but over there, Barry didn't mind, and continue welding until the security guard stopped him.
Swing, Mike, I don't give a fuck what you think. Yeah, he's right. I'm gonna shove this goddamn... Get the fuck off!
I'm gonna be okay, man. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
After that, Mac and his group began to choose the fabrics that exist, to be held on top of a building, but when they tried to put a banner, people in army uniforms below directly prevented him with a shot. Their efforts failed, and while they were trying to get downstairs, suddenly something happened. The weapons were also taken by the Berry Group. Finally, the Berry Group directly, holding up the security guard to give me the key to the arsenal. But because it's here, the security guard gave the key with anger and threw the key. He was immediately tapped Jalop until sleeping forever.
Come on.
In short, Barry and company went straight to the gun room and share weapons with his group. After that, Barry instantly gathers people to choose. Anyone he thinks deserves to be eliminated, including Mike, who had woken up, taken to the group without a match.
Can I have your attention, please?
No more friends, no more bosses and employees. Barry and his cohort now take over everything. They gave a strict order. All must obey, even if there are disobedient, even if it only says one word. He will be the chosen human, where he will be instantly eliminated without negotiation.
This is the right thing, so we need order. Who says a single word, we are unfortunately going to put a bullet in your head. Now, if this group will kindly go stand against the Eastwood. Good. Yeah. Turn on some music or something.
In the meantime, on the other side, the woman who was hiding in the basement began to be curious about the conditions above. Slowly it peaked, and at the time of seeing Barry and the group begin execution, Denis immediately retreated back. Go down. Not just down, Denis had the initiative to turn off the lights. So that makes people have a chance to escape in the dark. Because things are getting out of control, and saw bullets shooting in all directions, without rules, without a purpose. Shortly thereafter, the command gave a warning that there are 2 minutes left, and only 29 total fallen.
Killed 29 people. If you don't kill one more person, then the next 102 will die.
Because there is no more additional life deposit, and 2 minutes have passed, according to the rules of the command, if not 30 people, then 60 people who will bear it. After even 60 people were eliminated, and there's only 16 people left, the voice of the command echoed again. He also announced the start of the final stage of the game. The rules are now much more brutal. Any of them who manage to eliminate the most participants,
she'll be the one allowed out with her life.
Intact because of the regulations, Barry and his group looked blindly, racing each other to eliminate. But because the lights went out earlier, his position is now so scattered. Barry continued to aim for victims, so that he could survive. Switch to Leandra. He is now separated from Mike. Leandra also aimed, and he sees one of his friends. He is collecting trackers that are in the head. His friend collects granules, that of those eliminated without exploding. He had a guess. If that thing could indeed explode, it could possibly be used to crush the steel layer that surrounds this building. Interested in that possibility, Leandro gets a little idea. Without wasting time, it uses radio communication to tell Mike where his position is. But unlucky. Not only did Mike hear, that signal was also picked up by Barry and his group. Instantly they knew where Leandro was, and immediately moved towards there. While they were gathering and waiting, they even have people from the Barry group. That showdown would be inevitable. After the showdown subsided, Mike finally caught up with Leandra. Without saying much, Leandra showed me some small explosive particles that Mike might be able to use. Mike put the granules in his pants pocket And in the moment they will hide, suddenly, Barry and his friend came and cut to the chase. Because Mike managed to escape to collect victory points. Barry also eliminated everything he saw, and constantly looking for Mike and Leandra. But apparently Leandra's state much worse than imagined. He was shot earlier. Mike, who didn't want to give up, trying hard to bring to safety, pulled Leandra's body to a closet. Wished there was a chance to save her. But apparently fate says otherwise, and Leandra is beyond help. Max, who is filled with anger, can no longer hold back and decide to fight Barry.
You killed her!
Being only one part is belonging. We know the
After a fierce and furious fight, Mike finally managed to beat Barry. Now Mike is the only one that are still left in that place. Shortly thereafter came the soldiers who brought Mike into the barn. Mike didn't want to, and he had a small resistance. But it was Mike who couldn't fight him, and as soon as Mike arrived inside the warehouse, Mike is still with his courage, closer to the command, and expressed his anger.
Why?
After that, Mike was told to sit down, and the man explained. What really happened was part of an experiment from an organization, international, consisting of scientists and the world's top brass. Purpose of this experiment was to study how human behavior, when it gets stuck in stressful situations and limitations, does morals still apply? Whether humanitarian instincts still exist in certain situations. When the command again told, Mike's still watching. By looking around, he saw some buttons, operator with the name of the person in the previous building. The command also said, to finish this experiment, Mike had to answer some questions. Alphabet given. The question is how to feel. Mike is currently after what has happened. The choice is sad, relieved, and confused. But instead of giving an answer, Mike did this thing instead.
I put them on all of you.
Listen, please. Michael.
And finally, a group of heartless human beings fall one by one. They are human beings. Their own thoughts. Who considers that their views are the only truth in this world, without consideration of humanity, after everything was settled. And Mike managed to even get to the committee, eliminated by Mike. Mike walked out of the building. Seen a clear picture that the experiment didn't just happen in one place. Apparently what Mike has been through is just one of many experiments that are being
Stage
conducted.
1, Stage 2.
The movie was finished. What we can take from this film. Let's find the meaning together. The Belko experiment is a real picture about the fragility of the human soul when faced with the brink of destruction. Often we hear stories. A father steals bread to drive away the hunger of his son. A mother takes milk to live unbroken in her baby's neck. That's how moral. It always depends on the situation. Easy to fade, sometimes even easy to remove. Not because of morally evil, but because life gives immoral choices. In man's lowest point, moral is just a hypocrisy which had to be defended. To save face,